Hello everybody! In this video you will learn basic things about astronomy, mainly relating to the early astronomy and celestial bodies. Enjoy! Of all the sciences that had been studied in our world, astronomy is the oldest. Astronomy is the study of celestial objects which are stars, galaxies, planets, moons, asteroids and comets. It is the physics, chemistry and evolution of those objects. The astronomers are in charge of studying it. One of the smartest astronomers of all times was Galileo Galilei. He was born in Pisa, Italy on 1564. His contributions to astronomy are recognized worldwide and made a big impact on society. His theories were unaccepted by many and he received much hate. But there are other theories like the law of pendulum that was stated by Galileo, and it said that the amplitude does not matter on the swing but the length does. Also, he changed the concept of science because now you need to experiment your hypothesis. Earlier on, one of the smarter civilizations of all times were the Mayans. They were totally isolated at the north of Central America, and many of their concepts are used nowadays. For example, one of their biggest inventions, the Mayan calendar, and we use a similar system today. Also, they were able to have a very precise calculation of the time it takes for a revolution in many planets, including Mars. Another important civilization were the Egyptians. They lived around 4000 BC and they saw patterns on the stars and the sun. Also, they built temples that were positioned with the stars. It's believed that they started astronomy in their region. The Greeks had a theory that said that the universe was made of atoms. Also, they named many of the constellations, giving them a story. The Babylonians realized that the planets had regular movement and a pattern. Also, they came up with a system of writing. And finally, the Sumerians, they made one of the first maps of stars and created a not so precise calendar of that time. Here are some short stories of the constellation, based on the Greek mythology. Orion. A man had a son who turned out to be a very good hunter, and he decided to hunt all animals on Earth. So the goddess of animals got angry and set a scorpion to kill him. He was imagined under stars being persecuted by another constellation, which is Scorpio. Cassiopeia. A queen in Greece thought of her as the most beautiful woman in the entire world, even better than the mermaids. So Poseidon got angry and punished her by sending her into the sky. Capricorn. A man disobeyed the law of the gods and swam in a forbidden river. So the gods punished him by turning his lower body into a fish and his upper body into a goat. Sagittarius was a talented archer that gave up his immortality because of Hercules. Taurus. Zeus transformed into a bull to get the attention of a woman. Gemini is represented as two twins. Cancer is a crab that belonged to Hercules. Scorpio, a scorpion that killed Orion in the battle that previously passed. Ophiuchus, he could wield dimensions and Hades punished him by sending him into the stars. Sagittarius is a creature from the Greek mythology. Aquarius, Zeus fell in love and turned into that because of her. Theseus, Cupid and Venus turned into fish to escape a typhoon. Aries, saved children from sacrifice. Leo, a lion that Hercules had to fight. Virgo is a serious woman. Libra represents justice. Ursa Minor, represented as a bird that has the North Star on its tail. Ursa Major, an union between birds and humans. The distance from Earth to the Sun is 92,955,807 miles, which for an easier measure is represented in astronomical units, or AU. Earth's satellite, the Moon, is 384,400 kilometers away from Earth. On a mission to the Moon, the trip is about 3 days, but it really depends on the speed of the spaceship. In order to find the distance between planets, the astronomers use an astronomical formula which requires knowledge on the orbit of the bodies. The star in which our solar system revolves is the Sun. It is a small star compared to others, but its diameter is of 1,391,000 kilometers. About 1.3 million Earths could fit inside of it. The Sun is massive. The Sun is by far the largest object in the solar system. It contains more than 99.8% of the total mass of the solar system. The Sun has a really big magnetosphere that stretches all the way to Pluto. The Sun is personified in many mythologies. The Greeks call it Helios and the Romans call it Sol. It produces powerful rays known as ultraviolet rays that proportion vitamin D to the body when exposed to it in a healthy period of time. Otherwise, it can cause cancer in your body. The Moon is a celestial satellite that rotates around the Earth. It is not considered a planet because of its small size compared to others. The Moon has a peculiar way of rotation, because it does not rotate like Earth from left to right, but it rotates like a wheel. This means that the inhabitants from Earth always see only one side of the Moon. There is a theory that the Moon was created when in the early stages of Earth an asteroid impacted, and its remains formed the Moon. All the time, the Moon is being lit by the Sun, but we only see the light at night. It may seem that the Moon is changing in shape, but it always stays the same. The changes in light are called phases of the Moon. There are 8 main phases. It starts with the new Moon, and we see nothing because the half that we see receives no light. Then there's the waxing phases. That means that the light is growing. Waxing crescent is next. Crescent means that it is less than half. Then there's the first quarter, which is half of the Moon lit. Waxing gibbous. More than half of the Moon is lit. At the middle of the cycle is the full Moon, where the light finished growing and is covering the entire half of the Moon that we see. So now the light starts decreasing, and it's called waning. Waning gibbous, and then last quarter, and finally goes to the waning crescent until the cycle resets again. Lunar eclipses occur when Earth's shadow blocks the sunlight, which otherwise reflects off the Moon. There are 3 types. Total lunar eclipse. Earth's full umbral shadow falls on the Moon. The Moon won't completely disappear, but it will be cast in an eerie darkness that makes it easy to miss if you're not looking for the eclipse. Partial lunar eclipse. The Sun, Earth, and Moon are not quite perfectly aligned, and Earth's shadow appears to take a bite out of the Moon. And finally, penumbral lunar eclipse. The Moon is in Earth's faint outer penumbral shadow. Unless you're a seasoned sky watcher, you likely won't notice the effect. And as always, thanks for watching.